Your biggest problem when aiming to make your dreams a reality isn't that you're lazy or that you're lacking time, but it's that you're being too realistic. All of your favorite people, from anime characters to athletes to creators, all have one trait that you don't, and it's having absolute faith in yourself. If you want to become successful, you need to be delusional.
If winning a race isn't possible for me here, then I'll just do all I can to escape this reality. And doing that means I still have hope for myself. It means that my attitude in life is to not give up on me. There might be other opinions out there, insights, truths too, even enlightenment getting thrown around. I only recognize my own.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey.
The people who actually win in life believe they were going to win even when no one believed them. Most people will laugh at you and tell you not to get your hopes up if you told them you will be successful before it happens. They will tell you that most people fail. But here's the thing. These people who tell you this live wishing they didn't wake up in the morning. They go to a job they hate, are trapped in a boring routine, and have given up on their dreams long ago. And these are the mediocre people who will tell you to be realistic, that it's better to give up than to ever try and fail at something you want to achieve. But do you want to be like most people? If you're tired of people telling you what's possible, this video is for you. This is for everyone who refuses to give up no matter how impossible your dream seems. Fuck being realistic. It's time for you to be delusional.
I see. So this is my reality. Huh. Well then, if that's the case, it's time to escape from reality.
Kaido's nickname is Forever Second, always coming up one step behind first place. No matter how hard he trained, how fast he ran, or how disciplined he was never able to win. But this never stopped him from believing that he would win one day. But how can he still think this when reality was telling him the opposite? He's never won the 100-meter race in over 15 years. So wouldn't it make more sense to give up on his dream? Wouldn't it be better to be more realistic than to feel the pain of having a dream you can't ever achieve? But even though the world told him to give up, he chose to reject that reality and created his own. When everyone doubted him and didn't even consider him a threat, he finally made his dream a reality. What would you do if you were in his shoes? Would you believe that you can make your dreams happen after years of endless failure? Or would you accept reality? Here's the thing about accepting reality and failure that so many of us confuse. We assume because we have failed so many times in our past that is going to be our future, that we are going to always fail. We start taking these failures personally, like there's something innately wrong with us, and therefore that's why we failed. Whether it's because we lack a certain trait, whether it's just because we think we're unlucky, we feel that there is something specific about us that doesn't let us win, that won't let us achieve our dreams. Whether it's like Kaido and aiming to win first place in a race, or achieving a life where you can be happy, or a relationship that you're grateful for. There are so many things that we can aim at, but we experience so much failure along the way that it makes us want to give up. It makes us want to accept this failure as our permanent reality. But even though it feels so logical at times to give up on goals that we've strived for and have failed at so many times, it feels like it makes sense for us to give up, because if we haven't succeeded after 10, 100, 1,000 times, doesn't it make sense to just give up, that it's not meant for us to achieve? We are actually giving up not because our goal is impossible or out of reach, but because we're afraid of experiencing that feeling of failure over and over again. And this is what separates winners from the people who just accept failure as their reality. Winners are those that are able to accept that making mistakes, that failing is a natural part of growth. And with every time that you fail towards a goal, instead of seeing all of the things you did wrong, just look at one thing that you could do better next time. Whether it's running a race like Kaido, where he can learn to improve his cadence, where he can improve his technique. There's so many things that he can focus on himself instead of focusing on all of the reasons why someone else is better than him, why he can't ever achieve this goal, or why it's just out of his reach. Those things might be true, but they're entirely out of his control. And that's why when he says to reject reality, he's not rejecting the fact that he lost or that he's not yet good enough to win. What he's rejecting is that failure is going to always be his reality. He's choosing to believe in himself, that he can make his dream a reality, even though he has failed so many times. And that takes courage, something that so many of us can be afraid of seizing because we are scared of failure. But this is where so many people go wrong when it comes to being delusional, and if you're not careful, this can destroy your entire life. I want to compare Kaido's rejection of reality and that of someone who is so obsessed like
Marty Supreme.
On the outside, both of these characters can look the exact same. They both have a goal that they're striving for, which the world doesn't see in them, that everyone around them doesn't see. They believe that they are going to achieve their dreams, that they're going to win, and that they're going to reject everything that's in their way that says otherwise. But the difference here is that Kaido accepts the present moment for what it is, but he rejects a future where it's always going to be this way. Every time he loses, he doesn't say that he didn't lose and that there's something wrong with the world. He accepts these things, but he still believes in himself, even if he hasn't proved it yet. The difference with him versus Marty is that when Marty loses, he rejects everything. He rejects the fact that he even lost. He denies his current situation. He lives in his head. Kaido accepts the world for what it is, while Marty rejects everything about it. And this comes to one fundamental difference between the way that they see themselves. Marty is trying to prove himself to the world. He is trying to get external validation, and he is willing to go to any means of delusion, obsession, and destroying everyone around him so that he can prove how great he really is. While for Kaido, he doesn't care if the world doesn't see him as being great. He only cares about proving to himself that he is not wrong for believing in his ability. When he goes out there to win a race, he's not doing it so that the world can see him as being great. He does it because he wants to prove it to himself. He doesn't care if the world rejects him. He only cares about the value that he sees in his goal. So many people can lose themselves by being delusional, because being delusional doesn't mean rejecting the world. It means accepting the things that you can't change and focusing on what you can. But you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but what does this mean for my life? If you're someone who has experienced so much failure or who hasn't even started yet, being delusional and believing yourself to be a winner before you have any proof to back it up can seem insane. It can seem ridiculous, that it doesn't make any sense. And there is a Ryan Holiday quote that I really like when it comes to this. He says that self-belief is overrated. Generate evidence. And what he's talking about here is that so many people do focus on believing in themselves before they have done anything to prove that they deserve to see themselves that way. Kaido was someone who has been running for most, if not all, of his life, so he has done the work to know that he is someone who is capable of winning, of breaking records, and of living up to his standard of reality. And the way that you get to Kaido's level of self-belief isn't asking yourself, what do you want to achieve? That's obvious. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to have a nice body, a fulfilling life, a dream where they don't have to suffer and wake up and go to a life, a job, a relationship that they aren't happy in. What you should be asking yourself is, what goal are you willing to fail for? What goal are you willing to experience defeat over and over again and still not give up on yourself and what you find valuable. For Kaido, that was proving that he was the best. He wanted to win a race against his rival for over 15 years, and he never gave up on that. That was his ticket to escaping reality. What's that for you? What are you willing to experience that frustration of defeat over and over again? This is a question that a lot of us can avoid when it comes to self-belief, when it comes to being delusional, when it comes to believing in ourselves, because we want to imagine that when we have a goal in mind, it'll feel good all the way, or that we will be confident the whole time. But the truth is that everyone experiences moments of doubt, insecurity, and failure. And it's in those moments when you have to ask yourself, are you willing to keep moving forward? If you take just one thing away from this video, realize that being realistic seems logical, but most of the time it comes from a fear of experiencing failure again. And being delusional isn't about rejecting the world. It's about accepting it, but still choosing to believe that your future can be entirely different from your life right now. And being able to achieve any goal that seems impossible to you right now requires for you to not only put in the work and for you to believe in yourself, but to be willing to experience failure more times than other people ever will. And that's why being realistic is the biggest thing that is holding you back. I hope that you start to believe in yourself. I hope that this video helped you become a little bit more delusional in yourself. Because if you don't believe in your dreams, who will?
So this is my reality. Well then, if that's the case, it's time to escape from reality.
Young man, you too can become a hero.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about me taking you on right here and right now. Body improvements.